Okay, cool. Great. You got your sheet and you got the roller up, right, Ro?
I do.
Cool, 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 cool. Then, uh, because this is also like a recorded thing, I guess I don't know who uh, is going to even have interest because I'm going to have to put it in the drive or some shit. Uh, Changeling the Dreaming is a very funny and nonsensical game where shit is bad all the time. I think I'm just going to try to jump straight into it. Alright. Another restless sleep. It's the same broken dream again. Billowed cloth on the fringes of your mind, the creak and clatter of segmented metal, step after step. Whispered words under starlight, deep glades and fortifications of pillared stone and grout. Iron, heavy in the air, in your hand. Morning, betrayal, a cold rust in your joints. Golden sunsets so blinding and brilliant they pierce through your chest like a lance from God. Or they would, if you didn't jolt awake first to the sound of your morning alarm. It is 7 a.m. in Lansing, Michigan, and for one Cordelia Koenig, a workday. Would you like to describe your apartment?
Uh, it's small, as librarians don't exactly make tons of money. Um, the little one bedroom thing with a bathroom, and the kitchen isn't even a separate room.
Oh, it's one of those, like, kitchenettes.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, it's all one unit then.
The only other room in this area is the bathroom.
Gotcha. Oh, so it's like one of those very small, like, gosh, they have a lot of units like that downtown.
Yeah, I imagine she's renting like a single room in a building that has been converted to like 6 apartments.
Right. So not kind of a townhouse, but like if you subdivided it.
Yeah, I'm thinking about an apartment like I used to live in, where literally the only separation between our apartment and the downstairs apartment was they had put up some plywood where the stairs used to be.
Oh my god. I think I super get the fucking vibe then. The sound of traffic outside has not even really begun to stir this early in the morning. If there's anybody that's trying to make the rat race to work, it's the people that are working in the big offices in City Hall. Here, however, is only really the sound of morning doves and chickadees starting to wake up. You
Well, I
have
mean,
a.
she's got time to get dressed at least.
Of course, it is a big day for a librarian. Specifically, every other workday. It's just another workday.
It's just another work day.
It's always just another workday. Do you drive at all?
Yes, she has
You
2 points in drive.
Gotcha, gotcha. Will you be taking
And
your?
and a motorcycle.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah, so
assuming.
she'll take her bike.
Cool, cool. So downtown is a fun little situation in Lansing if you've never really been. Uh, in the residential areas, like say the neighborhoods and the little quartered off houses and shit that are over in there, it's crowded, but the houses are old. I think some of them are close to a century, like old. There's nice small little section manicured lawns, really bustling trees coming up, starting to turn for the season ahead. It's approaching autumn. Picket fences, pride flags, the whole 9 yards. And the further you get into the actual city proper, however, is where this starts to change and the trees fade away. There are occasional parks, tall pines, and kind of nicer, older-looking buildings, but skyscrapers and a number of more polished office complexes have sprouted up over the course of decades. The apartment complexes are no different, as these are coming up like weeds. Yours may have been on the chopping block for demolition and rebuilding in the form of pine lumber and cheap wooden construction, as a lot of DTN housing in the areas oft want to do. But for the moment, it is an old, converted townhouse with an attached parking lot outside. It is... oh, sorry, you go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, seems right.
All right. The walk down isn't really anything different than the ordinary. It's quiet every morning. Bike, untouched, immaculate. There is kind of a thud as you're exiting the apartment, though if you would like to make a perception and investigation, or perception and wits roll, I would allow it.
Sure.
We'll say difficulty 6.
Difficulty 6, and you said wits perception?
Yeah, we can go with that one.
What did you say before?
Oh, either wits perception or perception investigation.
Oh, right. The perception is a stat in this version. I have 1 dice. I have 1 dice in perception. I will roll that dice.
Oh, no.
It's a fail. I rolled a 4.
Okay, that's... Okay, well, thankfully, so this is the Old World of Darkness, so thankfully, I don't think that's a botch. I just think it's a failed roll. You could spend a willpower if you wanted to. I'm not going to push it because it's not too big of a deal either way.
I think she's just not awake yet. She has the big Coke bottle glasses. Like, she's not all there.
That's perfectly
She hasn't
fine.
had any caffeine.
The coffee will have to wait until later, perhaps. Usually your boss has you do, like, a coffee run, which is pretty standard. That being said, however, the noise is kind of unmistakable because it's a very distinct kind of, like, thud. And in turning around, there is a dead squirrel on the sidewalk, just 30 feet back or so. Looks like it fell out of the tree.
She's gonna look around and, like, see if there's, like, some kid shooting, like, a slingshot or something.
This early in the morning, it would be extremely odd. So taking a few steps closer to the squirrel's definitely dead corpse. Bludgeoning is visible on its body. There's spattering of blood that's met the concrete below. However, you can't really discern what has killed it.
She's just gonna kind of click her tongue and go, "People need to keep an eye on their kids, jeez."
They need to keep an eye, indeed. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do to really bring back the dead. And so, perplexed, perhaps, with the sudden death of a woodland critter so far from the road, maybe it's time for Cordelia to head to work.
Yeah, I think so. I imagine, since it's like a townhome, that she's, like, rented a garage nearby.
Yeah, they have those.
Since she works on her bike herself.
Yeah. It's pristine. It's perfect. It's exactly what a librarian should drive. Sorry.
in that it's, definitely not the cheapest motorcycle she could find that she's been keeping together with parts from a junkyard.
Exactly. It's good, though. That's the good shit. You know it's lived in. You know it's cared for. There's a soul to it. Chickadees are starting to wake up a little bit more now. You swear that you can hear, like, maybe a lawnmower in the distance among the distant whir of automobiles picking up cut grass in the air, maybe some floral pollens. It's a little bit chilly. given Cordelia typically goes for the traditional and true tried librarian fit of cardigans, sweaters, and comfy, cozy, warm clothes for an air-conditioned interior, you are just fine. And the drive over to work is similarly uneventful for the morning. It is quiet over by City Hall, which is the region that contains the Lansing Public Library. There's a number of buildings that reach upward for the lazy, deep blue and gold of the morning light. Kind of defunct payphones that have been stripped out of the ground with their stands left up and some exposed wiring poking out. A few townhomes or compact apartments sandwiched in between parking garages and office complexes, federal buildings. It's a weird kind of city because it has the hallmarks of a bigger city, not quite like Boston or Seattle or anything on the East Coast, but at the same time, not anything from, say, like Florida, where it's sprawl after sprawl on endless sprawl. It's lazy in an intangible way that you can't really put your finger on. Sleepy. Unfortunately for you, the parking garage is your typical destination for most mornings. The only parking that is available around here is these concrete lots. They do have street parking, but as of the last several years, the city's made changes, so parking on the street now costs a fee, and that fee has exponentially ramped up to the point where it is honestly just easier to get a pass and use the concrete lots instead.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Got your kickstand up, and is just a short walk away from the library itself. It's this,
Since this thing doesn't really have any way to prevent it from being stolen,
oh no!
other than not having the key, she's gonna put on some gloves she keeps in her bag and pull out the spark plug and bring it with her.
Okay, you easily do so. This is child's play for you. This is routine. You've not had any problems in this specific lot yet, but you're not counting on it either. So, gloves on, you twist, pull, and pocket the spark plug. The bike is now inert, and if anyone does want to steal it, they would honestly have to have a pickup ready.
That's the plan.
Your bike is a little sad, but understands the sacrifice it must make.
She gives it a little pat.
It's a steed of sorts.
It's gotten her everywhere she needs to be, and that's what matters.
Exactly. Faithful. The walk down from the parking garage is quiet. Steps echo off of the walls, and you have a time to kind of process the morning and wake up a bit before you have to walk in the front doors of the library. At this point in the morning, it's not really open to the public yet. That won't be for another few hours. The work that you're facing for now is going to be record keeping, organizing, and preparing holds. So, while you wait for the streetlight to turn, why don't you give a description of Cordelia?
Well, she's fairly average height, blonde, messy hair, blue eyes, looks far too pretty for the job she has, though doesn't seem to be doing anything to accentuate that prettiness. In fact, if anything, she tries to play it down. Probably the most noticeable thing is that her glasses are definitely not just for show, and if they were to be gone, she would probably be completely blind.
Oh gosh.
It is a wonder she has a motorcycle license.
No kidding. Honestly, I actually completely forgot that Cordelia, she had just one in perception, which is extremely funny. standing in wait for the streetlight, eventually it does turn. The ones in downtown are kind of odd in that they seem to kind of fluctuate. They're either on a schedule to change every so often, or they have these little cameras up in the corner that are supposed to be like, okay, when the cars reach this threshold, we start changing lights, but it never seems consistent, and for pedestrians, it's even worse. It does eventually turn, however, giving you a moment to start crossing the street. The lights of the library ahead have started to come on, and through the strange kind of ice cube glass dotted facets of the building, you can see the offices upstairs for administration and some of the more managerial roles starting to come on as well. The sound of cars in the city hasn't really picked up much more in your time, and as you're stepping across the street, you are treated to an immediate surprise as you hear a squeal of tires. There is a car barreling down the intersection, going through a red light directly for you. Would you like to make me a dexterity athletics to avoid getting hit by a fucking car? At difficulty 7.
Difficulty 7. Dex athletics. I've got 4 dice. That's a lot. But this seems like a willpower thing. So
of course, if you spend a willpower, that gives you an immediate success.
Do I then just still roll the 4?
Yes, so when we say an immediate success, that would be a success as in, like, pretend you rolled a die and that came up as a success. You add it to the pool. So
right.
You would roll the 4, whatever you get from that, plus the 1, and then minus any botches that you roll.
It's 2 successes, so 3 with the willpower.
Very nice. You don't see the car coming, but you definitely hear it, and when you whip to turn around, this car barely fucking skates by your side, careens off to the right, mounts the curb, and almost hits a fucking tree before, like, sliding and grinding to a halt.
Are they okay?
With 1 perception in your pool, if you'd like to walk up and check on them, I will allow it.
Yeah, I think at this point she would be like, that seemed really bad. I would feel bad if I didn't look.
Approaching the car, it hasn't started smoking. It hasn't hit the tree. When it mounted the curb, the back tires caught on the rest of it and didn't fully get over. So it's more that, like, whoever was in the car, or by some stroke of luck, hit the brakes hard. The man inside, a disgruntled-looking guy in a Quality Dairy shirt, heavy bags under his eyes, is palming the right side of his face and trying to grind out the sleep that seems to have caked itself in there.
I think I've met this guy.
I have too, don't worry about it. He groans. He doesn't seem like he's wholly here right now. Like, he's either half passed out or just off on something. You can't tell immediately. Oh, fuck. Did you fucking get in the road?
No.
Oh my god. Hey.
Are you okay?
He, like, checks himself over, kind of, like, looks through his shirt. Like, he pulls the collar of his shirt to, like, look it down, make sure he's not, like, bleeding or, like, there's no bruising or anything from the seatbelt whipping him back. Just completely unaware of the situation that he's in and doing this as if he was on his own at home. Yeah, I'm okay. Fucking... This ain't the arcade. Why am I gotta go home. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe you should call someone?
He fucking fumbles for his phone and starts, like, browsing through contacts. The moment he's already started browsing through contacts, like, it's not that he's forgotten you're here. It is more just, like, what little attention span he has just completely fixated on the phone.
She's gonna just sort of slowly back up. If he doesn't seem like he's got a concussion and he's calling someone, he's probably fine, right?
Hey, Mark.
Right?
I gotta take my car into the shop. Like, I don't think I can come in today. Yeah, I'm gonna ask Katie if she can take my shift. Yeah. And like
yep. Time to leave. Time to leave. Time to leave.
He just the tail end of this conversation continues, where you're only getting one half of it, and quite frankly, you're not paid enough for this in the morning.
Is there like anything nearby?
Anything?
Like a store or anything?
What are you looking for specifically? And I can point you in the right
Someplace
direction.
she can get coffee or an energy drink.
Yes, there actually is. You're close to Kalamazoo Street, or rather, you're on Kalamazoo Street right now. You almost got hit on Kalamazoo Street. Just going across past the parking lot that you've set your bike in, and continuing up, literally just one block takes you to the facade of the Strange Matter Coffee Company, which is a local chain in Lansing. It's this brown facade building painted with a white logo that looks as if it's almost been stamped on. The brickwork is admittedly crumbling in downtown. It's one of the older buildings and part of a much older building, but it's very different on the inside. I think... You know, I'm actually not going to even bother looking up. I'm going to flip a coin. If it says heads or tails, I can give you if it's closed or open. It's open.
Oh, thank goodness. She's going to try and get into that building.
Yeah, sure thing.
This is far too awkward.
The glass door has heavy tinting on it and has like shades that occasionally get pulled across when the sun blares right through. It's one of those really wide windows that sort of magnifies the sunlight that comes through, even when it's tinted, even when it's shaded, so they have to work overtime to prep for when direct sunlight comes in. The interior, however, wood-paneled flooring, which you can't really tell if it's false or if it's, like, the real deal. It would be hard-pressed, and it's kind of an awkward situation to kind of bend down and inspect the paneling. Otherwise, a very large counter laden with a few electronic espresso machines already hot and ready for the day and getting warmed up for their first uses. A drip press, one of those very large ones that looks like a whole canister you'd fit into the side of some fucking ungodly machine at the college. And working the counter currently, the only person working the counter is a person you are slightly familiar with. This is, if I bring up the artwork for you again, because this is an NPC that I just have the immediate mental image for. There we go. It's Gwyn! They're this short, kind of twinkish, tattooed friend. Tattoos, the name of the game, organic kind of shapes that twist into veins and arteries, a beating heart at the back of their wrist, lion printed on the other in dark facade tones, strange little patterns etched almost like a tortoise shell into the other bicep. They're very chill, more awake than the man in the car outside, and seeing you come in, they kind of just give a casual smile and wave. Hey, Koenig.
She's gonna give a little nod and go, well, it's already been a morning. Did you see that?
See the, sorry, like, he kind of, like, shifts and looks through the window from the counter. He's not really willing to abandon the espresso machines just yet while they're still doing their cleaning routine. From his position, at least, it's clear that they can't really see that far up the road.
Gotcha.
I heard tires. Was that you?
Wasn't me. It was, somebody nearly hit me. Mind if I just catch my breath?
No, yeah, take your time, take your time. I'm just opening up shop. I'm the only one here today.
All right. She's gonna take a seat real quick and text whoever else is going to be there at opening.
On your
And
oh yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
go ahead.
In your contacts list, you would have your manager on hand, Mr. Donovan Lewis. Just shooting him a quick message results in a flurry of responses asking, are you okay? Are you hurt? Do you need to go to the hospital? Is the other person okay? Do you have insurance? The list goes on, and as typical for him, it is a very concerned and well-meaning approach rather than just like managerial non-care.
Everything's fine. Just taking a second to catch my breath and wanted to warn you I might be a minute or two late. Should I get coffee?
The response that comes back is something along the lines of more nervous responses and questions if there's any visible injuries or if there's any invisible injuries. You're not really sure what that means aside from possible concussions. But with regard to coffee, there's a pause in between the anxious and nervous back and forth, enough for Lewis to come back with a, no, we'll wait till the usual time today.
Okay. Then, and as a thanks for letting her just duck in here and catch her breath, she'll do they have water or anything she can get?
Yeah, they definitely got that. You just want
she'll get a bottle of water.
Hell yeah, it's one of those, it's not like one of the name brand water bottles or whatever. I don't remember what they're called. There's the Smart Waters and the Dasanis or whatever the fuck. This is like off-brand shit, and much cheaper than what you could get from the fucking Walgreens across the street.
Something that just says spring water.
Literally, yes. Is that all you're gonna do today? I know I'm cleaning this shit, but I can make you something for that.
I will be back later with the normal time. I just don't like coming into places and not buying anything.
I totally understand. I'm not gonna fucking grill you. That's none of my business. If you want to come in here and get a water, I'm not gonna complain. You don't gotta pay. Just take that shit.
In that case, instead of paying, she'll just put it entirely in the tip jar.
He just kind of gives one of those fucking knowing nods, a wink, just goes, hey. Hey, look, I know you almost got hit by a car. Just take it easy, I guess.
Well, I don't think anyone's going to try and run me over again once I'm in the library, so I'll be okay.
Exactly, see? You're looking up. He's way too fucking...
Let's just get there. And she's gonna give a little wave and head out the door.
Yeah,
and hope the guy is gone.
They wave back and continue cleaning their machines and prepping for the day. They have a customer that passes by you in the way going out the door. Some guy in a fucking cowboy hat. You know how fucking Lansing is. The guy in the car is already gone. It seems like his clunker didn't take enough damage to completely incapacitate it or otherwise break it down. But he's not there anymore, and the tree/adjacent parking meter is somehow miraculously untouched.
Interesting.
I assume you head into work with your bottled water.
Very much so.
Hell yeah. It's kind of weird because the library is such an unassuming location that at first glance you might not notice it. But the closer you get and the more time you spend around the library, the more it kind of stands out in the area. The adjacent park with the tree that was almost victim to a stray car is reasonably, I wouldn't say clean, that's not the right word. It's very lush. It's well kept and grown. There's a nice little park there for the adjacent apartments and businesses, people taking their dogs on a walk. A number of functions get hosted out here, but the library itself is old. And when I say old, it is extremely old. Old enough to have a fallout shelter in the basement. A fact that has not really perplexed you so much as been intriguing. They occasionally do tours down there. You may have been privy to one yourself if you've been working here long enough.
Probably then.
Ooh. Walking through the double front doors and past the security checkpoints where they have the little RFID tag sensors, you are met with the wide open interior of the library's first floor. A few of your coworkers have kind of started the day and are organizing things at the front desk before packing and moving to another section of the library with a cart. The space in the Lansing Public Library is neato. It's very, very open, but at the same time, not so open that there is ever a reverb or an echo. It's carpeted and quiet. It's not too cold, not too hot. The counters are wide and staffed near 24/7 for the duration of shifts. I have completely forgotten how long shifts are at the library, but I think they go from like 10 to 5, if not 10 to 8. There's never not somebody there, is the gist. On one side, they have the most popular section, bar none, in the library, which is the fiction. There are teen fics, there's romances, sci-fi, mystery, a number of graphic novels and comics, and the most checked out books, or frequent arrivals and checkouts shelves. These are the ones where you'll often see like kind of trashy romances get picked up and put down repeatedly. On the other side is the children's area, with a divider in between kind of serving as a study space on checkout and loan. The children's space has all of its books there, which are by and large kids' books for K through 12, ones for toddlers, and a play area. There's like one of those wooden block toy puzzles with the moving sliding panels. One of those rugs that has the city on it with all the roads and cars and businesses. One with a lake, a big forest surrounding it, that kind of thing. Oh, and printing services. That's one I cannot forget. It's nice. Might be one of the nicer places that you could work. The only thing, as you've mentioned before, is that the pay is not extremely great. That being said, and the description of the space kind of being left up for a moment, your first few steps into the library are met with a yelp and a kind of strained groan coming from one of the side rooms by the front desk. It sounds like your manager's having trouble with a box. Oh, jeez, okay. Oh, okay. Oh.
She's gonna rush over there.
It's... Mr. Lewis is having a conundrum. Donovan Lewis is kind of a contradiction of things. He's this dad bod kind of guy in his 50s. He's got curly black hair that's been cut into a very stylish fade. He occasionally has it tied in a loose ponytail if he really needs to, like, buckle down and get work done, or if it's just getting in his face. Has a short, like, well-shaved beard, but despite this, like, clean look, he is a complete dork. Not very well put together, very quick to be anxious, as the texts have no doubt shown. And atop that has a viciously protective love of the library. This is his baby. And the baby is currently trying to crush him with what looks to be about 30 pounds of books in a cardboard box. Cordelia, can you just get this side of the box?
She will grab the side of the box without even saying anything.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. thank you. I just need a minute. Oh my god. This with your
Where's
forward.
it go?
Just, ooh, front, just the desk for now. We gotta sort them out. Barcode. Oh god, the room's spinning for you?
Take a seat. I got this.
Oh, he just flops into like a fucking metal folding chair that's there. It's the side room is connected to what looks to be a makeshift break room, but calling it that's kind of like self-aggrandizing. It's really just another supply closet that you occasionally sit down in. Oh, I was so worried that you got hit. Are you okay?
Just frazzled, but I'll be okay. I think getting into work will get my mind focused.
Okay. I heard the tires. I didn't see nothing out there. God, by the time I looked out there when you told me what was going on, he's like dabbing his forehead with a handkerchief as he starts to like go off and to kind of just a little bit of rambling. The books that you're sorting out are brand new arrivals, mostly in young adult fiction. This is getting close to the point of the year where Scholastic tries to get their book fairs going.
Okay.
We're just gonna take, they should already be organized, but if they're not, then, just set them down and I'll get on that in a minute. Okay. And he doesn't get up, he just kind of, like, moves to start getting up, decides that's a bad idea, and continues to sit.
Just stay there for a second. I got this. She'll take the box to the desk and start sorting.
Just so you know, Stacy is not in today. You're gonna be kind of alone till, the lunch rush? Because I got Beth on the, God, I can't remember what I set Beth on.
I should be alright. We'll get coffee, and that'll be enough.
Yeah. Oh, right. Another thing. We ended the partnership, with, was it Bookwalker, or was Bookwalker the one we're going with now? I don't remember. Library decided, we're not going with Bookwalker, or was it Gummy? One of the two. We're not using one of them anymore. New one's up on the paper, up by the desk. It's next to the tax info for folks, if they want it.
Alright. I'll take a look later.
Ooh. Okay. He just wheezes into his seat. So, for the most part, sorting out the books, and with the help of Stacy as she comes back. Not Stacy, it was Beth that called. That's still in. With the help of Beth when she comes back, you're able to kind of get things sorted for the morning shift. And when 10 o'clock rolls around for opening, you are ready at the front desk. The Lansing Library is pretty quiet, all things considered. A lot of people come in to use a mix of resources, whether that's printing services, or that is telephone, or asking for advice for legal, or just most things around the board, equipment checkout. There's a lot that goes on here, but it's never really loud. Sure, you get occasional disgruntled patrons, but it's never often, and even the kids that show up here are very well behaved. It is uneventful, for the most part. You get occasional stragglers, teens playing hooky, but they're here, and that's fine. The door to the front of the building opens up, and stepping through is somebody that's in kind of, I wouldn't call it official wear. They're wearing a polo emblazoned with the classic Spartan helmet. It's green, teal pants. They have, like, one of those weird, like, leather cases for your phone that you strap to your belt loop, as if it was some kind of satchel. walks up to the counter, kind of gives a quick knock just in case, like, Cordelia's busy. Hey, name's Brian Worth. I have a meeting with, oh god, somebody or other upstairs. I should be already, like, okay. Can I just use the elevator? Do I gotta sign any papers for that?
Give me a second. I need to make sure. Since this is the campus, we have to, confirm everyone is coming on. And she'll take a look and see if there's anything listed on for people coming in for meetings today.
Oh, he kind of just like leans against the counter. He drums his fingers while Cordelia searches. This is a rote activity for you. People coming in for meetings or to talk business with the city library isn't really anything new. MSU's library is sizable, but it doesn't have a lot of the classic records that Lansing does. Not any of the architectural stuff, not anything for city plans. Anything like that would have to be with the public library system, and honestly, given the option between the various Lansing area libraries, this is the easier one to deal with. You do have an entry for a Mr. Bryan, however, on the third floor of the library, one of the offices.
All right. Looks like you're on the third floor, Office B.
Cool. Hey, is Lewis doing all right?
I think he might have accidentally thrown his back out picking up something too big.
Oh, okay. I didn't know he threw his back out. Sorry. I know his kid takes classes with one of the professors I work with. I know that she's going to be graduating soon. I was just checking in, seeing if he's got any. He's a jittery guy. You get me. I'm just checking in.
Yeah. Other than that, he seems fine to me.
Cool. Alright. I think, I'll just head up then. Thank you.
Yeah.
He walks off
Be
to
here
the
if you need anything.
Yeah, he just gives a wave of, like, thanks and pulls out his phone. He starts texting on a message before... No, he's actually going to make a phone call, actually, in the middle of the library. The elevator does eventually come and save you from the beginning of that conversation, and whatever awkward half of a phone call you'd be privy to a second time.
Good.
Among the teens, well, not really the teens that have shown up in today, we have another couple of patrons coming in. One, this old woman who's clearly here to use the printing services to get a hold of something or other. And on the other, as this, like... I guess the right word would be stout. It's this stout lady wearing just sweatpants, a tank top, haircut shortened kind of a really lazy bob, but it just doesn't really seem intentionally styled. There's a rattle from her pocket as she takes, like, steps towards the counter and just goes, "Hey."
Hi there.
She's got this really annoying shit-eating grin. She might be chewing bubblegum. Then again, she might just be doing that to annoy you. So, if I want to find, oh god, what do I want today? You got stuff about robots?
Do you want fiction about robots or non-fiction about robots?
Yeah.
Well... she'll start bringing up the computer system and, well, our sci-fi section is down that-a-way, and, looks like she'll start typing a little bit. We've got some textbooks from the university on robotics, over in... That should be that one right over there. Should be third shelf down, right in the middle.
By the time you look back up, she's already started walking away.
Fair enough.
Just There's something loud about this woman in particular. Like, just even among other teens who have gone off to, like, look at the graphic novels and giggle over, like, some fucking obscure, veiled pornography or whatever they've found. Like, every step she takes is, like, intentionally to be loud in this space, at least until she gets to the carpet, where she starts smacking what is definitely bubblegum.
Gonna make me have to say something, aren't you?
Thankfully, as the patrons kind of ebb and flow, it doesn't seem like this is going to be too eventful, and by the time Beth comes back to relieve you of desk duties for a short while, you have an opportunity to take some of the returns and sort them among the shelves. How often does Cordelia come here off the clock?
Probably not as often as you'd think. Since she tries to keep things separate. That's why she does the motorcycle. She feels like it's good to have hobbies that are different from your job.
Very different from your job. Cordelia is rocking 4-inch strength, a fact that would probably be lost to most people.
And definitely doesn't look like it.
Exactly. And it's with this 4 strength that you heft and heave stacks of books onto your trusty cart, the wheels not even making a squeak as they go down the aisles of shelves. There's a part of you that kind of maybe worries that you're going to bump into that annoying woman. Thankfully, that's not the case. And you are left to your own devices, sorting out books. The rare copy of The House of Leaves finally getting to rest on the shelf instead of being on the reserve shelf out by the front.
Yeah. I'm always surprised how often people want this one.
A mystery within a mystery. The page more or less bleeds, even in just the moment that you are shuffling it up to peek, slash get it onto the shelf next to Danielewski's other novel, which is, oh god, what's the name of that other one? I'm just gonna call it The Secret. I don't remember what it's called. I'm sorry. I see it every time I go there, like, in real life, and I'm just like, God! Where's the house? Among that in the same section are a few non-fiction mysteries and like retellings of like classic murders and things like of that nature. This is also a popular section for a lot of people. Typically, the more popular ones in the mystery horror and historical horror get placed out in front next to, for example, language textbooks or the aforementioned romance novels or new arrivals. These are more forgotten, sequestered. These linger and wait for somebody to come find them. The few teenagers that have been gawking over various 80s and 90s manga finally left with their haul. They've decided to make better use of the day than going to class. And it's by the time that you're starting to empty the last of your shelf, you abruptly hear, "Hey!" from directly behind you.
She'll jump.
It's the annoying woman with her gum. So
I don't miss that.
she, like, it's insane how quickly and quietly she moves. It's just one of those people. So, like, okay, I don't have a library card. Do I just, like, take this?
No, you have to have a library card.
She clearly knows the answer already. She just wanted to make you squirm.
She's just gonna sigh.
I'm not sure if I want to check it out. I just wanted to ask. She turns around and walks away.
You can read it here if you want, but if you want to take it home, you have to get a card.
Around this point, now that the woman has walked away, to where and to do what, God only knows. With the last of the books kind of getting ready to be shuffled away. Mr. Lewis has come down. Hey! Okay.
Hi.
So,
How you doing?
I checked. It is jelly that we're using now, not Bookwalker, and not the other one. I know that for real now. I ran all the way upstairs to make sure I didn't get that wrong. How you doing?
All right. I would have looked later. You didn't have to do that.
No, I just, I just wanted to know,
That's fair.
I know this is going to be a lot. I already have you walking around. I did want to ask a favor. It's getting around that time of the day. Do you mind making a coffee run for us? Just a little bit.
I can do that.
Cool. I wrote down Beth's order. I got mine, my usual, and you can take my card with you. I trust you with it. That's fine.
All right.
Oh,
In that case,
and
should I go now?
yeah, that if you can. If they also got like a little scone, maybe just one of those.
Yeah.
If I go over there, I'm gonna grab a donut, and I keep telling myself not to get that shit. I gotta be better about it.
I fully understand.
Thank you. He's just looks so much more relieved in this moment of trust than he did several hours ago, or even any other day of the week. Like, this is usually the point where he can kind of zone out, or not really even zone out. That's a bad way to put it. Loosen up. Kind of tugs his collar because he's getting to that point of the day. Why don't you? You can just go on out if you want right now, and I'll take care of the rest of this. This is nothing.
Sure, I'll get that done. I kind of need the fresh air anyways, I think.
He gives a little nod, and he crouches down. You can hear a bone or two pop close to them. He's just like, "Oh, I'm okay. I'm crunchy. I'm fine.
Okay, all right. If you're sure.
He's just. It's like every little movement is a new crunch, it's a new pop, and it surprises even him. But in a way that he's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot I could do that." If that's the case, though, Claudia, would you like to head back over to the coffee shop?
Yeah.
On the way over, passing the front counter where Beth is kind of not really annoyedly, but picking up a few books that were just left here out on one of the tables. You notice that there's a new book on the front counter that was left there, dog marked. One of the corners was folded in. It's The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Interesting.
Oh, if you would like to just head on to the coffee place, that is more than fine. You figure probably Donovan will grab this, if not Beth outright. This is just an annoyance, a daily annoyance.
If it's still there when she gets back, she'll put it away.
Fair enough.
People are expecting their coffee.
Very fair. As you step back out into the now warmer breeze of Lansing proper, downtown starting to bustle and thrum with the hum of automobiles, passing cars. This time you actually do really need to use the crosswalk and wait. It's a bit too crowded to just say fuck it and jaywalk. Eventually you do get back over to Strange Matter. Not really much busier than it was before, in all honesty. Gwyn looks extremely bored. Oh, Miss Librarian.
Well, I've got some work for you.
Bro, you got something? He pops up very casually and starts getting the machine running. You got the usuals or anything new today?
Is anything different than usual?
Uh, define usual, I guess. We got this new like butterscotch thing. Uh, I take like a couple of these candies, like just grabs like a handful of these Werther's original butterscotches. Like put them in there with the espresso and they melt down.
Uh, I think I'm good on that though. And then yeah, everything is as usual.
Yeah, I don't know why the manager wants this.
I mean,
It,
I can see it working. If they're the right kind of candy, they'll melt and
oh,
it'll
these.
flavor it.
I'm
But
gonna tell you something, Cordelia. These are not the right candy.
oh yeah,
These
definitely the usual.
he like takes the garbage bin from behind the counter and just like not brings it over but like tilts it so you can see the inside. There's like one or two cups in there where there's just this solid block of butterscotch candy that has like solidified over the base of the cup.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't got bugs yet, you know. God, the usual then.
Yeah.
Gotcha. He starts working. How you holding up after the whole car thing?
I'm alright. I just needed to, recenter. And she does this like thing where she waves her hands in front of her eyes.
Oh, I get you. I got like I took a couple yoga classes and there was like some meditation stuff that they were doing. I just do that whenever I get a minute.
Maybe I should try that.
I can show you sometime. Like, no big deal.
Uh, See how I feel when next time I've got a day off.
Fair enough. I got nothing but time. Starts pouring out one of the shots of espresso. The machine kind of gives off like a kick of steam every time the shot gets pulled, but like he's not worried. It seems like this is normal for kind of a banged up espresso machine. It's good coffee, so
Yeah.
one can't complain. Um, I've been thinking about today, and I have been feeling really off. You know,
I can understand that.
I just like you had your almost accident this morning. I've had a couple of weird guys come in. Um, some weird. I don't know what they work. Um, just this kind of like suit look. Like I thought they were going to a funeral or something before they asked for a latte. Um,
Like Mibs?
he fucking crumbles out laughing. He almost spills one of the drinks in the process. I didn't know you were into that shit.
I mean, I'm on the internet.
Okay, alright. Uh, fuck, I don't know what I even look for. What do they look like?
I don't know. You're the one who saw them.
Oh, alright. They didn't have sunglasses. One of them had like a pinstripe tie, and the other one was rocking like one with roses on it.
Oh. Okay, then probably not Mibs.
You fan?
No, it's just it's fun. I read a lot of the SCP wiki.
I think I've actually heard of that. Is that the thing with the he starts like kind of snapping his fingers trying to remember is like you didn't ask for it, but he's already reaching for like a scone from below the counter. Is it the one with the hallways and the like the weird mildew carpet? Like
It's
it just goes
it's
on.
adjacent.
Okay, right. I might look into that later. Uh, I don't know. I'm more into the what's a good one? You know the Fresno Nightcrawler, that little guy.
Oh yeah.
Love that little guy.
I always liked the Mothman because moths
Yeah.
are cool.
You know the statue. God, I don't don't tell anyone I told you this. I actually got to go over to the statue once, and I stuck a fucking dollar in in between the statue's cheeks.
She can't help but not just start giggling.
I was drunk and it was stupid, but it was a road trip, and I just thought, why not?
Look, I'm not saying I believe any of that stuff, but it sure is entertaining.
I I don't know. If I'm gonna be like seen as entertaining, I gotta engage with it a little bit. You know,
That's
just a little.
fair. I watched that Adventures show that they have this episode where they go in this house that's known for like being haunted, but it also has like a gas leak, and they keep wondering why their heads are hurting, and I'm like, it's the gas leak.
It's the gas leak. Ah, gosh, I've never been ghost hunting. I'm just gonna be upfront about that. I have been curious though, and he conspiratorially leans like a little bit into the counter. Uh, you know, there's a really old mall just north of. I think it's like north of Frandor. I'm still getting used to the everything here. I don't really know places very well. Um, it's this old mall that used to be like, oh god, what do I even say? Like, I don't want to call it a sanatorium because that's kind of like, bleh, but it's what it is. And I know some urbexers here who made like a couple trips in there, and they saw some weird shit.
Ooh.
Just like I don't know, like fucking stuff written on the walls, and they had like stuff getting thrown, but not like across or at them, just like up into the ceiling. And it wasn't even like a thing you could record. Like it just happened, and by the time they whip around and like take a fucking video or whatever, that shit's already like in the roof, and you can't tell if it's just like been pushed through from the other side.
Spooky.
It's all word of mouth, so maybe they were feeding me some bullshit, but like you gotta buy into it though, right?
I mean, yeah, it's more fun that way.
Uh, that's what it's about. That's all it's all about at the end of the day. I've been tempted to maybe make a trip over to this. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's this building that's got like a big sign in front of it, and it says like gun facility. Uh, one of the
Seems like
things. Oh, go ahead.
seems like it'd be fake. Gun facility.
Yeah, it's like an acronym though. That's the thing. It's like some Shadow the Hedgehog shit. Uh, they just got this big ass sign out front, and one of the warehouses there is like they do shooting range stuff or whatever. But there's like three more that aren't being used attached to that shit, and they're old, old, old. And I've been so tempted to go and poke around and see what's up.
Let's not get shot.
Nah, no, 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 no. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Uh, you know, uh, I don't want your drinks to get cold. I'm not keeping you, am I?
Oh, I should probably get back. Otherwise, Lewis might hurt himself again. But yeah, it was good talking to you.
Yeah, likewise. You got my number if anything else. Just hit me up if you want that offer. I can show you fun little meditation shit or yoga. I don't know which one you want.
Well, I'll give it some thought.
Fair enough. Uh, tell Beth I said I. Uh, only seen her like occasionally. I don't really know many of you in there.
Will do.
He gives you a fun little cardboard carton to hold your drinks, a paper bag and a half for the scone, and once everything's paid for, Cordelia is once again free to shuffle off to the library.
And she will head back to the library.
As you approach, there's this weird kind of like quiet at this point in the day that is just kind of strange for downtown of all places, especially Kalamazoo, which is a pretty busy road, all things considered. It's not in downtown, but it's still one of the ones that snakes through the adjacent neighborhoods towards the hospital, the university, and the farmer's market that's out in that general direction, too. It's kind of just weird. It's as if the birds have stopped singing. The wind's kind of like gone to a quiet whisper as you take the door handle. It's uncanny. And as you step inside, the silence that meets you is even more so. The building is dead quiet. There doesn't seem to be any foot traffic in the library. The first floor is seemingly empty. Would you like to roll perception and wits or investigation once again?
Well, if you're letting me do wits, I will use wits.
Yeah. There's no time. There's no time crunch right now. You have all the time in the world to make these observations. This is just
What
your
is
immediate first pass.
the difficulty?
We'll say difficulty 5, since this is a slow situation.
Looks like I got 2 successes. One of them is a 10. Should I reroll that?
If you would like to pop that 10, you're more than welcome.
Okay. It's 10 again.
Oh, damn, you can pop that one too.
Okay, it's a 6. So
Cool
that's
stuff.
Something like 5. Yeah, I think 5
God
successes.
Damn. Yeah, that's an exceptional. God damn.
On 3 dice.
That is extremely good. Less die, more hits, as we always say. Stepping in, this quiet is the first thing that greets you, as if it was its own patron. Now, what meets you next, however, as your eyes slowly scan the quiet interior, there's nobody even at the front desk. You're met with a hand sticking out from the open doorway just across where you were helping Mr. Donovan sort his books and pick up the crate. It's his hand. And kind of tangled between his fingers is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, half open. You got an exceptional. Would you like to run over there and I can continue to describe things?
Sure.
It's instinct. You're quick on your feet. And in coming to a quick crouch to inspect the prone form of your manager, unconscious and breathing shallowly, you notice that the library's patrons aren't gone. They're all unconscious. There's kids on the far left side of the building who are just knocked the fuck out. There's the woman who is getting printing services done, also conked out, breathing shallow. People in the fiction section, equally, and you could swear that the half-open, gosh, what do you call it? There's a doorway that goes into an adjacent stairwell. There's like 2 in the building. This far one on the side of the building is propped open by the prone form of Beth.
She's gonna quickly reach into her put the drinks down somewhere where they won't spill. Reach into her purse and pull out, you know those like cloth, like hair ties that are like big, like you can put them over your whole hair.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna take that and put it on over her mouth in case there's like a gas leak or something.
Fair enough. That is a very sensible thing to do.
And she's gonna make sure he's not like concussed or something.
Just from a cursory inspection, maybe prying an eyelid open. His pupils do dilate normally, but he is out, out. Something weird is happening. Um, the earmarked page of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, it seems to be the one that he was reading, but the book's propped on its insides are on the floor, if that makes sense.
Okay. She's... The book seems important for some reason. She's gonna snatch that up real quick.
Nothing happens when you pick up the book, and when you turn it over to look on its insides, you're met with a portion of the book involving the White Witch. This is about the point where early on they're using Turkish delights to kind of bring Edward into the fold and betray the rest of his family. However, instead of any hesitancy or any, I guess, normality that you would have expected, this is not an unknown book. This is a fairly well-known book, and the film has only made it more known. There's this weird, it's hard to parse with your eyes. You look at it, and you see what clearly has to be as if somebody took a Sharpie and just scribbled across the page. But you're not seeing that. You know it's there, and that's what you should be seeing. But instead you see something worse. It's as if the text itself has been altered into a much more hateful recounting, something that is devoid of hope, something insidiously malicious. Edward, fully, wholeheartedly being okay with dipping into this, making plans to more or less gut family. It's an uncomfortable read for what should be a story that children read, and this is not how the text goes, but it's there, and there's this creeping sort of dread that sinks or tries to sink. It hooks into you. And that's when whatever this is unfurls, and the individual syllables, the letters on the page, squirm off the paper. Black worms, liquid dripping off.
Yeah, that's going across the room.
It splatters with ink across the wall, and in a almost comically dramatic fashion, slides down the wall and leaves this massive black ink mark as it goes before it touches down. You can see the faint squiggle of things in the distance, but they seem to dissipate into black droplets. And that's about when you hear a laugh from across the room. An annoying laugh broken up by the occasional smack of bubblegum. Took you long enough.
She's just like, what do you mean?
Stepping out from the children's section of the books is the same woman that you know from before. Something is dramatically different about her, however. Instead of the sweatpants and the fitted cloth, the fitted tank, I should say, her clothing is insanely different. It's leathers, it's belts and straps, it's mobile. There's fitted armor, padded leathers and bracers, guards for the shins, a stiletto sheathed at her side, and this aura, this strange, weird glow about her, ears pointed to a knife's tip, and the scent of sweetgrass just pervading the library's first floor air. There's something wrong with this woman, and the more concerned Cordelia gets, the more she smiles.
Look, I don't know what LARP you came from or what you're pulling here, but this needs to... Whatever this is needs to stop.
No. You don't get it. You don't get it. Ah, oh, God. I've been doing so well all morning. I have had you dancing in my palm, and now here we are, the finale. I have
I think
never...
you understand. I've been doing my job all morning. Who are you?
You can call me Cardi. I am your assassin. Surprise!
She's gonna take a second. She's gonna slap her cheeks. And then... Okay, seriously, stop. This is not funny.
That's the point. It's not funny. It's not funny, sweetie. I've never gotten to Kill a King before. I don't know why another one would want me doing this of all people. I guess my reputation as a real good, top-notch assassin got ahead of me. She kind of, does the pose of, inspecting her fingernails as if, she can see them from under her gloves.
Real quick, is there anything, has anyone left a cane or anything nearby?
Let me flip a coin and see, because, there are probably a number... Actually, you know what? I don't even need to flip. Lansing, in the fall, is rainy. In the supply closet that you're currently in, the one where Mr. Lewis is passed out and the books usually get put in for sorting or, barcode stamping or what have you, they usually keep a few umbrellas for coffee runs or stepping outside to take care of parking meter stuff or helping postage, collecting books from the deposit bin, stuff like that. You reach out and you take one of the longer ones.
Look, I don't know who you are. I don't know what sort of joke this is, but you can either walk away now, or you can go to the loony bin when the cops show up.
Or I can do this, and she proceeds to take a couple of books from her side, her arm having been kind of positioned behind the various armors and garb that she's got on, and just chucks a few of them at you. Would you like to roll me dexterity and athletics, or perhaps even in this instance specifically, you could try to parry them with your new weapon?
Sure. Since that's Dex Melee, I will do that.
Absolutely. This will be difficulty... We'll say difficulty 6. It's like a melee attack.
Okay, and she has 3, 7... 5 successes.
Oh goddamn.
And one of those was a 10, and I told it to reroll 10, so that's why it's 5.
Good. That is exceptional. This is like stuff that you would do in theater for dramatic effect. You smack the first one out of the air, the one that would have been most directly like a quote-unquote threat to you. And it's when the umbrella makes contact with the book that something weird happens to its spine. The cardstock and glue, the threads, all seem to elongate immediately in a sparking fashion and try to grab onto the umbrella like some kind of parasite. But it doesn't have enough to grab hold as the umbrella completes its swing and it is cast off towards the front entrance, where the front door is. The other book misses you completely and lands in a similar area, but it waits and doesn't react. The other one squirms and writhes and continues to move as if it is alive. And Cardi takes a step forward.
Okay. Alright. And she just kind of closes her eyes for a second. Now you've made me mad.
Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so fun. Hey, so, just so you know, real quick, because, I think it would be, whatever, I wouldn't bother calling for help or anything. I've done my prep work. You've been working all morning. So have I. Nobody is coming. And until this is done, nobody's waking up either.
She's gonna Okay, so let me get this straight. I'm dealing with some sort of wizard, and
No.
she's gonna take her jacket off, like her cardigan off. She's going to crack her knuckles, and she's gonna run at her.
Oh, hold on. Uh, as you come around the front, like round of the desk, would you pause on seeing anything new or different?
Uh, would gut instincts prevent me from being surprised?
Oh, hold on. Let me take a look then. That's a mental merit, right? Or not merit, flaw.
It's a merit, yes.
Oh, it's a merit.
Yep.
Let's see.
Let me find it here real quick. You've got a direct line to the more primal of your instincts and benefit from the ability to act without thinking first. You may not always know why you do what you do. But once the dust clears, you realize the correct move was made. This merit nullifies the effects of surprise and prevents you to act normally.
Yeah,
Though you may only defend.
Yeah, in this case, I'm absolutely going to let you have a moment to react to this. As you come around that front... Oh, go ahead.
This is her ringleader side, by the way.
Yeah.
They fuck with the library.
So you come around this front part of the counter, and, like, before where the counter was barring a lot of your vision, now you get a better view of what exactly you were up against. There's a wet floor sign stacked by the elevator. A few books carelessly discarded in the area directly between you and her. It is this moment where it kind of clicks that if she can do that to one of the books, and it can just, like, come to life and try to pin you down, any number of things in this area could be trapped.
In that case, she'll stop.
She maintains a comfortable distance, but starts casually picking up, like, other objects. Like, she takes a stack of the keychain library card, like, I don't know what you call them, but they're like the little plastic bits that you attach to your keychain, like the key fob charms. I don't know if anybody knows what those are.
Yeah.
Yeah, she takes like a couple of those and is just kind of like playing with them as she talks. It's borderline monologuing from a villain, which is giving you a moment to take stock of your surroundings and the threats that could or may not be leaving, like in the immediate area. Would you like to maybe roll wits and investigation this time?
Sure. That's 3 successes.
Hell yeah. God, you don't know how easy this was. Like, all I had to do was come in here. I just had to walk around and grab some stuff. I just had to, some of the words that she's using don't seem to be real, but you're not really paying attention to it. The elevator's a no-go.
Look, I don't know who hired you to kill a librarian, but... And why you decided you needed to dress up for a LARP to do it, but I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. I just want you to know that.
I can't tell you who hired me, because that would be really not fun for either of us. And it's also just bad form. Like, I'll brag, but I don't know if the client wants to brag. You know how it is. Or maybe you don't. Whatever.
No, I do know. I want to know what makes me so freaking important.
Oh, this is easy. This is a preemptive assassination, Miss King.
That's not my last name.
Oh, no,
okay,
I know.
Technically it is, but that's not the point.
Well, okay, well, I didn't know that part. I'm gonna be real, I don't know who you are. I don't know your name or anything. I just know you're the lady I gotta kill. So, like, come on.
Do it already.
No, I gotta make it
Or are you
fun.
afraid?
She's sizing you up just a little bit, and this is kind of where you're starting to rule out the far end of the library. Anything back by the kids section or the graphic novels, the study room, you're not getting out that way. And you're not finding any advantages there either. That's where she spent the most time so far.
Yeah, she is definitely trying to position herself towards the front door, because that's probably the closest to where she was.
It is where closest to. The only entrances that you can access, however, have been blocked off by living books. And God knows what
She's
else.
not fully sure that wasn't some sort of illusion, so she's still planning on the front entrance.
The book writhes at your back like a discarded brain stem, trying to find a body to inhabit.
Don't. I don't see that. I'm totally not going crazy. She's saying that out loud.
God, and like, you are just such a dutiful librarian. It feels like kind of a, I don't know, if I feel kind of scummy doing it, but at the same time,
You should. I'm a public servant.
oh, so am I. I just do something different. I kill people. That's the same.
No, it's not.
It's, you don't know, and you're never gonna get to know, because I'm having a fun time with this. In saying this, the elevator might be blocked off. However, the stairwell that goes down to the basement level has not been. And you didn't see her touch that door at all.
Well, that's very rapidly becoming Plan A.
Oh, and she takes another book. Like, this time it's a fucking phone book that's just, like, up by the print machines. And as she's, like, caressing the fucking spine, it just... it comes to life in a way that books shouldn't. Like, it's like she's holding a bird. It flutters the pages, the spine, like, seems to vibrate with a royal as her fingertip trails it, and you instantly know that this is another one.
While she's distracted making this thing fly, Cordelia's getting into her purse for her pepper spray.
Are you gonna stay where you are, or are you gonna move towards the basement, the front door?
She's gonna start moving towards the basement.
Gotcha.
But she's got her hand in her purse on the pepper spray.
Let me go ahead and make a roll on my end, specifically for her. Oh, this is perfect. I did some planning ahead to kind of make this easier on myself, and I also did some stuff like making dice pools easier, and this is perfect because I just have to... Oh my god. She does not notice you walking away. In fact, she immediately seems to get, like, really fixated on the design of the keyring charm things that she'd been playing with. And instead of taking, like, just one and popping it off of its plastic backing, she takes, like, 3 of them and starts, like, trying to fit them onto her fucking cell phone that she pulls out from a side satchel, which is just... There's, like, fucking 30 phone charms on this Motorola from the fucking early 2000s. Like, this is the shit you would see as a meme on Tumblr. Levels of, like, I collect phone charms. She does not even notice as you get to the door itself, avoiding the wet floor sign that's by the elevator, which, on closer inspection, you can see twitching like some kind of disguised alien prop. And it's only when the door creaks as you're already a foot onto the stairwell that she looks up. Hey, wait a minute!
Is this some sort of, like, reality TV show or something? They can do that, right? Like, no, that doesn't make any sense.
Cardi has started to pick up the pace in walking towards you. It's not a full run or a sprint. She knows that she's done the legwork for this part. But it is definitely, I don't want you to get too far from me kind of pacing.
She's gonna duck into the basement if she gets the chance.
You can do so easily. The stairwell is pretty wide, and for the most part, doesn't really have a lot of complication. This is a older part of the building that we're delving into. Though as you're getting towards the bottom of the stairwell, Cardi leans over the railing and proceeds to drop several presumably trapped items over your head, which I would like you to make another parry against.
She was gonna wait by the door, actually.
Oh, you're gonna wait by the...
Yeah, she was gonna sneak in, she was gonna slip inside the under, like, the door to the basement, and then wait by the basement door.
Oh, you were? Okay. So a few things. As you step into the basement, This is kind of an odd space. For one, the library's basement doesn't really get used for a whole lot of stuff. Like, of course, there's copy machines and some industrial, like, bookkeeping equipment, specifically for making transcriptions and digital copies. Nothing to do, like, a full print, though there have been talks to maybe refurbish some of these rooms to do that. For the most part, these spaces get rented out. These are big empty rooms with some tables that can get rearranged, chairs, the whole 9 yards. Couple engineering closets for junction boxes and kind of etc. shit. One thing that you would know is that down here there is a door for the fallout shelter, which is a holdover from the 60s and 70s. It's usually kept deadlocked and closed because it is a historic space and still one that is technically in use and function for the Lansing area, or at least this end of Lansing.
Okay.
Which is why it's weird that the door is wide open.
That's a particularly heavy door, isn't it?
Yes, it is. This is not one that anybody really has access to. Like, unless you have city permission to get in here, these things are, like, alarm tripped in the present day.
Alright. She has a plan, but I need to run to the restroom real quick, so I will be right back.
Yeah, of course, we can take a quick break.
Okay, sorry about that. I just needed to go to the bathroom real quick.
No, you are okay. So, we were talking about your plan.
Yeah. She's going to post up by that door, just out of sight.
Are you gonna maybe hide? Because, like, the hallway in this area specifically, because it's an older part of the building, is a lot more narrow than the upstairs. So, if that door opens, it's going to, like, push you into the wall. There's not really a spot immediately next to the door. You could, however, hide in one of the adjacent rooms or the fallout shelter, though, like, this is your prerogative.
The plan, just to get it out so you know what I'm thinking.
Of course.
Is she's going to hide behind where the door opens.
Mm-hmm.
And when the door opens, slam it into this person's face.
You're just gonna close it right back into her face.
And then book it for the fallout shelter.
That actually works very perfect. That is a very serviceable way to do things. For the sake of funny, could I ask either athletics and strength or brawl and strength, whichever you prefer.
Let's do brawl, or let's do athletics and strength, and do I get my mighty blows for this?
Let's say yes for this purpose, so your 10s count as 2s. There should be an option to tick in there.
So 10s double?
Yes. And they still pop, because that is what we were using.
Okay, so 5 dice. That's 3 successes. No 10s.
3 successes. So you have this moment where you kind of pause and formulate this plan. You orient yourself in such a way that you're not visible through the window pane in the door, but you are immediately adjacent to just whip this thing right back into her face. You hear her trudge down the steps, she's grumbling under her breath. Something about, like, oh god, the king's gonna be mad if she gets away. I'm gonna have to fucking work double time to get the same rep. They're never gonna take me back at the freehold over there. I'm gonna have to go and fucking curb favor all over again. God. And it's about when she says God and, like, has a hand on the door and pushes it forward that you fucking whip this shit right into her fucking face.
And she just hears, think fast, chuckle nuts.
Okay. And you just hear, like, a fucking... Ah! Oh my god, did you just hit me in the face?
You're trying to kill me! And then she's...
Oh god, I'm gonna kick your ass so bad, I'm gonna make you regret this! She's incapacitated for a moment and fucking takes bashing for that shit.
Oh, if she's incapacitated, the plan has now changed from running to stomp.
Oh no, not like incapacitated in terms of like knocked out, but incapacitated is in like she's pinching her nose and trying to get through the immediate sting so that she can focus that into kicking your ass.
Okay, then yeah, it's running still.
Yeah, you hear the fucking like thrim of a fucking like fine dagger. That thing is real. That's not like a prop. That is the ring of real fucking sharp metal that has been made to kill. Um, there's this weird fucking sensation that like ebbs through the air as you pass through the entrance to the fallout shelter. It feels almost taboo as you're going into this, and it's far too musky compared to like the upper levels of the library and their comfy and like relatively dry AC kind of feel. But you do it anyway, because the alternative is going back through there, which is now currently one of the only exits. Do you want to maybe, like, close the door or something?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So the door is unfortunately not quiet. It does squeak and groan and clunk heavy shut, but it's solid, and this is a secure space. It is, however, very dark.
Okay. Got a second? We have a second.
You hear a door behind you, the one that you slammed before, getting slammed hard enough that the wall shakes.
What the hell is... Okay. We're alright. Just some crazy LARPer trying to kill us. I don't know what we did to piss them off, but... Okay. Why do people want me dead today?
You take a second, and you think hard. When she said she'd been working hard all morning, she didn't, like, it's close to the afternoon now, and that's when she showed up. Has she been trying to kill you all morning, perhaps?
Okay. The more I think about this, the angrier I get.
The darkness does not abate as you step and try to fumble around. Do you want to, like, maybe try to look for a light switch, or use your phone?
She'll use her phone to look for a light switch.
Alright. You do find a light switch. Unfortunately, because this space does not get used very often, it's only really checked up on occasion. It seems like this is the point of the year where they've got to, like, replace and start refurbishing shit. The switch only gives so much light from overhead bulbs that have been kind of strung and placed in the, I guess you call them struts, in the structure of the building.
Of course.
It's not total dark, but it's dim. It's enough that you need to use your phone still. And stepping forward is strange. There's suspended dust that kind of hangs in the air. Narrow hallways kind of giving way to small little communal spaces, like a kitchenette that's closer to what seems to be like a bathroom slash like connector to one of the bedrooms, or bedroom spaces, I should say. A pantry that's real close to the entrance, stocked with a lot of preserved foods, mid-mode furniture that's way out of time. They're still using this furniture despite it being 2024. There's sofas and blankets, a gathering room. It's dark as all hell, and it's as you step into the gathering room specifically, edging around a chair that's been kind of, like, knocked over for some reason in the time between, is when you see a human shape in the dark. A shadow, with an arm outreached. It's not moving. Not at all.
Okay.
Would you like to get a closer look?
Sure.
Your footsteps quietly echo on carpet. This is one of those weird spaces where every little sound is muffled right back to you, as if It's literally happening as you step, but it's as if the sound is happening right next to your ears. And coming closer, you see a gleam. There's this old seamstress's mannequin that's been stood up in the center of the living room. And with its outstretched arm held between its fingers is this brilliant, gorgeous sword. Steel, shining, immaculate, a jeweled hilt and pommel. There's a weird pull about it.
Well, how could things get weirder? And she'll drop the umbrella, and she'll take the sword.
You stretch your arm out to meet the blade's grip. It's weird. Like, these seamstress dolls do exist in here, at least from past tours, but nobody sets them up like this. Nobody gives you stage props like this. It's odd. It's enough to keep your attention, the blade itself kind of transfixing you, and it's only when your fingers have touched the mannequin's own that you hear a shuffle from behind you, and the quiet words of, "Oh, shit," from Cardi, who is looking wide-eyed directly at the sword. "Hey, don't touch that. Just let me kill you nicely, please. Like, please."
Oh, you fucked up. And she's grabbing the sword.
The shelter explodes in searing, blinding light as you grasp the blade's hilt. There's 1,000 angelic choruses screaming their way through your skin as you make contact, through your mind, as your body threatens to crumple under this familiar, yet wholly alien, overwhelming energy surging through you. The space around you, instead of just feeling like this fucking basement, seems to unfurl, dip, and dive into this abyss. You can only logically understand it, not as a fallout shelter. No, you're accepting a sword from someone. You're accepting it, and this very spot, is directly beneath the fucking children's playmat of a lake. This is a dried lake bed, roots diving in and out of the dirt at the walls and your sides. And it's as you feel like your skull is about to split from the strain, just when the blades left the mannequin's grasp with a hung and a ringing tone of metal in the air, this strange, weird sensation you'd felt at the front entrance of the building, this weird disbelief that you've had towards everything Cardi has done, just parts in full for a moment. This perfect moment of clarity, and with it, the weight of history and legend on your shoulders laid out in full. Hewn wood tables and scattered strategic maps, freshly scrawled correspondences lit under torchlight in dark chambers. Whispers in the early morning, adrenaline in your veins as you prepare to rout the great boar Troit straight off the sheer craggy cliffs of Cornwall. Impossible feats that you've engaged in wholeheartedly to perfection. Impossible duels that would shatter the hearts of lesser people for sheer betrayal. Shattered yours in stark betrayal from people you knew and loved. There's a pitch-perfect voice that rings from the steel between the welling resurgences of memory, the husked chrysalis of a skull that you've begun to shed as all these memories start to come back, intangible. Righteous sovereign, knight of the round, raise me high, once and future king. And you remember everything. King Artoria.
She's gonna give it a flourish and raise it to the sky.
It gleams with a perfection of dawn. And Cardi is freaking out as armor manifests, fitted, perfect, cloth tabards, emblazoned with a stark red dragon. Oh, shit! Okay. Fuck, I have to do this now. I have to finish you now. I can't... While you still are... She fucking charges. Like, it's just inane rambling at this point. She's trying to steal away your golden future like so many have done before in the past. How would you like to stop her?
He's going to reach out with a gauntleted fist and try and find a neck.
You find one almost immediately. The stiletto hovers at your own collarbone, just centimeters away, held and prevented from moving just by your grip. You have her right fucking there. Just... Come on, no, let's not be hasty.
No. I think haste is what matters right now.
Come on. Just... She's trying to fucking get a breath. She can't get one. Your grip is ironclad.
Each time she speaks, she grips harder.
Glamour thrums through the air. This desiccated lake bed that you are currently in is just awash with the fucking, like, raw thrum and visual cascade of multicolored glamour. This strange purple and violet iridescence that bleeds into morning sunlight. Behind you, what you thought was merely a mannequin, the fucking statuesque, perfect marbled form of the lady in the lake, now crumbling to dust as her final gift is, like, given to you in this moment. Cardi is clawing with one hand at her neck, the other trying to whip the stiletto in a more constructive fashion towards your torso, but glances off of your armor as it's manifested in this immaterial perfection. Come on, just... fuck's sake,
She's going to push her towards the ground by the throat.
You do so just easily.
Onto the floor, boot on the chest. And when she finally lets go, your last words better be mercy, or you're dead.
Go fuck yourself! And she tries to whip something out. Something weird in glamour. It is this raw force that surges in strange lights. Physical, not even just light itself as a wave, but like as if it had a fucking tangible form. It twists tentaculine, and I think I already know what you want to do in response to...
Yeah, the head's coming off.
Yep. It's a clean motion.
Don't say I didn't give you a chance.
It rolls to the side, and her form lies limp. Now, it's this heat of the moment thing. Your brain is fucking going insane just processing all of this. And you only really hit a snag when you hit a stranger memory. You can't seem to recall in all of your perfect recollection at this moment the specifics of Avalon as a location. Wasn't this where the lake bed was? Shouldn't it be right here? Or was Avalon the scabbard? Where's your scabbard? It should be with the sword. What? And it's these disconnections that don't make any sense. Like, the thoughts of Excalibur don't just bring up the sword in your hand, this immaculate perfection in what seems to be real steel. Instead, you have these visions of differing swords, these broader ones that seem polygonal and as if drawn on a PlayStation, or perhaps drawn in these inks, depictions that don't at all match the reality that you're seeing right now. The thought of this blade having a strange anthropomorphic form. It has pale skin and a suit with the same pale color, a top hat that looks far too stupid on its little head, and the thought of it gives you dread. But it's this increasing ever more dread that the more you try to remember the specifics of Arcadia, the specifics of all the past lives that King Artoria has lived, real or otherwise, it is impossible for you to sort out the reality of which ones are happening, happened, or never will happen.
What the hell? What? And she'll take a few steps back.
You feel the weight of the blade in your hand still. It's real, but it isn't. It's as if you can feel the weight in your mind, and your body knows that weight, and it should be there. It acts perfectly for you, but there's a part of you that knows your hand is empty. There's another part of you that knows that this vast, dry, gone lake is the fallout shelter. And there's the couch, the thing that you saw as a boulder, this massive couch, but you know the boulder is there. The body on the floor, you can see the head rolled off to the side, and dead as a doornail. But you also know that Cardi, whoever this woman is unconscious right now.
Well, that's not good.
It's about this point that you start hearing movement from the stairwell. Not anything like flapping pages or books or whatever. Nothing of the insane nature that you've just been made aware of in this horrible, horrible morning and afternoon. But rather, footsteps, radios, the sound of an ambulance as the door opens and closes, the reverberations managing to make it through when the air is open. And eventually, a few people in uniform and badges coming to the entrance of the fallout shelter. Hey, Lansing PD? Anyone in here? This isn't supposed to be open.
I was looking for what knocked everyone out. There's two of us in here. She shakes her head.
One of the uniformed officers takes a quick glance in and then proceeds to radio out to dispatch and call. It seems that somebody had made a phone call from within the building, and that's why they're here. Following that, though, the other officer proceeds to perform some rudimentary examinations and more or less tries to wake the unconscious woman up. And by some miracle, you know this woman should be dead. She stirs, and her eyes open. What? What? Oh, God, what happened?
Gas leak?
That sounds about right. I don't know anything about libraries. Why do you have gas here?
Used in the stove in here. She points towards the kitchenette.
I wasn't cooking or anything, was I?
I don't know. Everyone was unconscious. I got worried and I came down here to figure it all out.
Oh.
I need to sit down.
I thought you told me where the... No, you told me where the Community stove was. I guess I got confused. The officer is proceeding to help her up and get her scooting along for the ambulance outside. You seem that you're doing all right, though shaken, so.
Is everything okay?
Are you asking Cardi or the officer?
The officer.
Uh, define okay. Multiple people passed out. Some people still out of it. Can't really tell what's going on.
I came in with coffee for everyone, and I work here. She says, patting her chest.
The presumably you have a lanyard with your ID and
yeah,
stuff.
that's what she's like patting at.
Yeah, which like he'll squint at, ask you for it, take it from you, take it out of the protector, squint at it both sides, and be like, "Yeah, this seems good." You mind taking some questions out front?
That's fine. Any chance I could have my coffee?
As far as I know, it's still up there.
Cool. Let's go upstairs.
And with a very confused Cardi in tow, she doesn't really seem to respond to that name if you ask her. Instead,
oh no, she's avoiding that lady.
Oh yeah, of course, of course. Either way, she introduces herself to the officer when prompted as one Lucy Dalton, and from there, things are fairly routine as far as questions, investigations, and everything go. There doesn't seem to be any issue with gas leakage, as that's pretty simple and easy to test. What isn't so simple or routine, let alone normal, is the world that you've just been thrust into. As taking questions out front by a police cruiser, you get a look at Lansing itself. It's Lansing as you know it. It's sleepy and it's quiet. But it is more than that somehow now. It's just too much somehow. You'd almost describe it as fantastical. Stonework buildings that you know in Lansing, the older ones, the churches, somehow seem to have spread and populated themselves just a little bit further, cramming themselves into every available alleyway, dipping into the floor where there shouldn't be anything but concrete and asphalt filling the space. There's recessed, like, businesses cut into other ones at impossible angles. The whole of the sky, these buildings are cast in this simultaneous sunrise pink and saffron light. The skyrakers twist in helix fashion with these branching sort of landing strips at the top where you can see various balloon-shaped oddments floating in, out, and landing too, along with other winged denizens of some ungodly airport on top of one of the buildings. Across the street, just looking down towards the highway, the GM plant, which, oddly enough, the GM plant seems exactly the same. What isn't is the power plant remnants behind it. Lansing's power plant is a very old steamworks building. And despite the age of years passing over it, it has remained a fixture of the landscape. And at the moment, the three towers, Winkin, Blinkin, and Nod, are nowhere to be seen. In their place is a gargantuan trio of draconic heads, stemmed like palm trees out from the earth, listlessly wavering in the wind and gazing over what can only be its domain, its quiet, lazy, soft domain along the riverside. And you can't unsee it.
She's gonna panic for a second, because where's Sword go?
Oh, you can still feel it at your side. You need only call it. Or reach for it, even.
Okay. So that was something. Do I need new meds? Is that what's happening here?
And with these lingering questions of whether you should talk to your doctor again and up your dosage, or switch your dosage even, or fuck it entirely, maybe just a long session would help. Your workday is cut short, it seems, and you are left with your coffee with 1,000 questions unanswered. Welcome to the dreaming, once and future king. That was, yeah, that's it. Thank you.